Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome to our schizophrenian channel. இங்கே நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போகிறோம்னா ஃபென்டாஸ்டிக் ஃபோர் மூவி பற்றின ரிவ்யூ ஆல்ரெடி நம்ம யூடியூப் சேனலில் இருக்க பார்க்கலாம். போய் பாருங்கள். எந்த செக்மெண்ட் சோஷியல் மீடியா கலவரங்கள்னு அது இன்டர்நெட்டில் அந்த படம் என்னவா பார்க்கப்படுது, என்னவா பேசப்படுதுங்கிறத மொத்தத்தையும் அலசி ஆராய்ச்சி மொத்தமாக பார்த்து ஃபன் பண்ண போகிறோம். இட்ஸ் அ சோஷியல் மீடியா கலவரங்கள் செக்மெண்ட். வாங்க ஃபஸ்ட்டு எங்கே போகலாம்? வாட்ஸ் இன் யுவர் மைண்ட் சொல்லுங்கள். அடுத்து ரெடிட் பக்கம் போவாங்க. ரெடிட்ல என்ன பேசப்படுது? Official discussion, Fantastic Four. Okay, here we go. Spoilers. If you have seen the film, please rate it at this poll. உங்களுக்கு நான் பண்ணுறேன், உங்களுக்கு கூட பண்ண மாட்டேனா? On scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Fantastic Four? Definitely 8. Yeah, 8 is good. Would you recommend the Fantastic Four? Yes, definitely. Vote. முடிஞ்சுதா? பார்த்தீங்களா, நிறைய பேர் 8 தான் போட்டிருக்கேன். நான் சொன்னால் கரெக்டாக தான் இருக்கும். ஆவரேஜ் படி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அடுத்தது what has been counted. Of course, we are always on the right side, guys. கரெக்டான விஷயம் தான். Summary: Fantastic Four must defend Earth from ravaging cosmic galactus and his herald Silver Surfer while navigating the complexity of family and newfound powers in a retro-futuristic 1960s inspired world. Matt Shackman காஸ்ட்லாம் போட்டிருக்காங்க. 3 guys, one being the smartest man on earth, struggling to put the baby car seat correctly was so good. True. Probably the best funny bit in the movie. Okay, fine. And right at the end too, baby did not look at it at all. So good and such a fun note to end the film on. Film is at its best when it's highlighting the family dynamic. Love seeing Johnny goofing around with Ben through the film too. Haha. The relationship felt very real and sibling-esque. I enjoyed it a lot. I wish we had more of Ben and teacher lady he was flirting. They were cute, but I felt like it was cut out for the time. I felt it was very cut out. Yeah, honestly, the film feels like it's straining at times to condense everything under 2 hours. But I've loved a bit more time to give a film a bit more breathing room. நான் சொன்னது எல்லாமே ரெடிட்டில் இருக்கா? நான் என்னென்ன ஃபீல் பண்ணணும், படம் இப்படி தான் இருந்துச்சு, நான் ஃபீல் பண்ணேன், ஆடியன்ஸ் அப்படி தான் ஃபீல் பண்ணுறது எல்லாமே இப்போ வந்துருச்சா? இந்தாங்க இஸ் நம்பணுங்கிறது. ஸ்கிட்ஸோஃப்ரெனியா சும்மாவா? கரெக்டாக தான் சொல்லுவேன் நான். With it being Natasha Leon, good chance she'll get a bigger spotlight in the sequel, I'm guessing. The look of disgust that baby Franklin gives while watching his dad and 2 uncles trying to put his baby car seat was priceless. Huh? So giving birth in zero gravity space while Ben is piloting the Elixir through a wormhole. எங்க பிளாக் ஹோல் தாங்க தப்பிச்சுட்டு இருப்பாங்க. Later slingshotting around a black hole. Johnny is trying to figure out the science mechanics of blasting the Silver Surfer in the wormhole, and Reed is stretching all around. Felt peak F4 to me. Great. I really like the Back to the Future reference in that scene where they needed to get the ship up to 88. I just now got that it was a Back to the Future reference. Clever. When this baby hits 88, you're gonna see some serious shit. Hello, both the Fantastic Four and Superman fully lean into comic book aspects of comic book movies. Yes, please give me more of this. சூப்பர்மேன்லாம் எடுத்துகிட்டு வந்து ஏன்டா இங்கே வந்து கம்பேர் பண்ணி இருக்கிற ஃபேண்டாஸ்டிக் ஃபோர் நாஸ்தி பண்ண ட்ரை பண்ணுறீங்க? The Age of No Origin first act Superman films frees up for more comic book fun now. I loved how they handled it here though. The origin being recapped via newscast was a nice way to catch anyone who's not bothered with the prayer mishap. It only took about 5 minutes to tell the audience everything they needed to know. I hope the newsreel was a homage to Jake Kirby. யார் ஒரு greatest hits in the early Fantastic Four. So clever, please always heavily seasoned exposition terms with Easter eggs to entertain those who don't need to catch up. When characters leaned down to grab and smell the grass, I was so fucking happy. It's amazing what you can do when comic book movies actually want to look like comic books and not what if characters was a cloud. Peak. Every fight scene had them working together in such an intuitive, strategic way. Ben didn't just punch people as hard as he could. He took out 3 strategic columns to level a building. Johnny didn't just light things on fire and waste his energy. He sacrificed oxygen to buy time and waited for Ben to chuck a fuel truck at characters to maximize damage. Red trying to one-on-one characters relied on information he gathered from Johnny fighting him earlier. Everything they got into conflict they resolved it with the teamwork in a way so much more evident than other movies. True. நல்ல observation. So used a pose as a magnifying glass to amplify Johnny's fire when damaging character size. Great. Oh my god, how could I forget such an incredible example? Yes, exactly. It's all seemed so practiced in the best way. Space Gate was so damn good, true. Enjoyed the retro futuristic setting of the movie a lot. The cast did an amazing job. Vanessa Su was for sure the highlight of the movie, and it was amazing to see her motherhood being central theme here. She was the one to knock Silver Surfer down during the chase while being in labor, and also the final flight where she overpowered. Let us love it so much. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Strom was the most valuable person for me. I love how they didn't make him a total man child in this one. His portrayal was intelligent, smart, and figured out the Shalabal's language on his own. ஆக்சுவலாக அது ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது. ரொம்ப டம்மியாக ஆக்சுவலி கிறிஸ்துவன்ஸ் பண்ணுறப்ப பண்ணியிருந்தாங்க. ரொம்ப இது அப்படி இல்லை, ரொம்ப அழகாக டீட்டெயிலே பண்ணியிருந்தாங்க. I also loved that Sue genuinely believed that her brother was onto something. True. All true. Joseph Queen as Johnny Storm was the most valuable person for me. Same for me, they did a great job making him competent and heroic figure while still making him a little bit of a golden retriever. It would have been really easy to make him a shitted womanizer like the Chris Evans version of the character, but they took him in a different direction here, and that was a great choice. Him not being a bro was such a great move. Let's pray the age of bro is coming to an end. Johnny might be hard-headed but a bit of a jokester, but man, got a flaming heart of gold now. I really love how they portrayed Johnny as intelligent. I love they showed the end of the day. All four of these people are curious scientists in addition to superheroes and their own individual selves. Whereas in most depictions, he's just a jackass who has no business being on the rocket except for the nepotism. Here, this is a man who's cocky but absolutely has brains to deserve to be in space. The fun fact that this movie remembered to make the Fantastic Four a family that has a crazy science adventure, so to save the world when they have to instead of a typical superhero team was so great. We should take Bikini Bottom planet Earth and push teleport it somewhere else. Reed is coming up with a plan to stop the Alaskan Bloom Galactusa. Bro, I've read a lot of F4 comics and this completely nails the character dynamics and the tone in a way that most Marvel movies don't. Maybe not a perfect movie, but probably a perfect Fantastic Four movie. This is my favorite Marvel movie in a long time, maybe ever. But I fully admit I'm a little biased towards this team. Great. I was honestly pleasantly surprised by it. The trailer concerned me, but they really nailed him. Pedro nailed has issues explaining himself, but is still a good man who genuinely loves his family as of the character perfectly. The scene where you can see he genuinely thought about the solution of giving up, frankly, not because he wants to, but because that's just how his mind operates. Really sold me on Pedro in this role. Sue getting upset and turning invisible was my favorite part of the scene, because who hasn't ever wanted to disappear in the middle of an emotionally heated argument? Everybody gotta stop doubting Pedro. It only makes him stronger, lol. But for really, the hate he got before that was not only for him that to nail the character to பர்ஃபெக்ஷன். எனக்கு யாரா இதெல்லாம் நீங்கள் வெறுத்துட்ருக்கீங்க, அதுவே உங்களுக்கு புரியல. எனக்கு ட்ரெய்லர்லேருந்தே பெட்ரோ தான் ஃபஸ்ட்டு ஆப்வியஸ் பெஸ்ட் சாய்ஸ் ஆஃப் த, எனக்கு அப்படி தான் பெஸ்ட் காஸ்டிங்காக இருந்துச்சு. யார் புக் பண்ணலான்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. It's funny that the mid-credit scene got bigger cheers in my theater because everyone here knew who is playing Doom. Also, the Thunderbolts post-credit scene a lot more interesting because I really thought they were going to end up on Earth 19999 while Earth 8 is destroyed by characters. Doom was a complete relationship with the Richards kid, especially Valerie. If you know. So I was not surprised at all that he was already targeting Franklin. Seems like merged two kids together. Seems like they merged the two kids together. I recall Doom treated Valerie like his own with genuine affection and care because of her intellect and drive to learn. Meanwhile, Franklin is all powerful but without the genius part, but Doom ironically has no interest because that's too easy. Doom is also a Valerie godparent in the comics. She goes to visit him once a year, haha. Which makes her the safest kid in the Marvel, which is low-key the cutest damn thing. Earlier in the film, when Sue was announced to be pregnant, one of the magazines being talked on the news discussed the possibility of twins. Nice little shout out and not to Valerie, Franklin's sister in the comics. Great. I thought they were going to end up on our Earth when they were coming back from the fight with the surfer. I thought they were going to wrap the Earth into our news. If Interstellar taught me anything, everyone on Earth should have aged like 50 years and probably have been destroyed before they got back. True. I guess they weren't quite close enough to the black hole. Yeah, technically it all depends on how fast they are. Faster than the light craft can travel. Interstellar, they weren't equipped for such journey. Okay. Architecture was backed by many scientists and bounded by equations. Fantastic Four probably wasn't rich. So giving birth during an escape from a black hole scene while Shalabal in hot pursuit was scene was intense. You could almost see Cooper and Tar somewhere out there. Also, just for a moment, who else thought they really killed off Sue? They dragged the death scene sequence good and made you second thing only to say, get Jabati. It was like, aha, she will breathe again in a moment, or will she? Oh dear God, yes, please put the baby on her. He needs to see his mom. Wait, that's Franklin Richards, of course. Nah, I knew they had an infant-sized use ex machina with in the entire time. At no point did I think she was getting killed off. Lol. I can't believe it. Yeah, Yam of Doom broke into Fantastic Four Tower to kidnap Franklin. Great, great, great. He had to drop some bars on that kid. Remember all caps when you spill them, man. One of the things that I loved most about the Earth 828 was the initial plan to defeat Galactus. It was going to take everyone on the planet, every country working together regardless of the differences to build the portal bridges to save Earth. It was honestly a little jarring to me at first. I was like, damn, this is what it looks like for every country on the planet to work together for a common good. It just shows in an idealized world. If everyone can just truly cooperate together, we can accomplish something unthinkable feats. Look at that bit of optimism in our torn, divided Earth right now. Could use a little Galactus motivation right now. I will even settle for a Galactus. Better stop that vehicle. Molman was on screen for like 5 minutes. Coming, I loved every second of it. I felt so cool seeing so many classics 1960 era Fantastic Four characters on screen. Great performance too. Some actors would have really chewed the scenery, but Hauser's portrayal made me emphasize with him. Butter me badminton. Don't look at me, Johnny. I didn't trust you. So standing in the crowd, people outside the Baxter building and refusing to give up Franklin and explaining why it's such a good scene. Because the Sarkar bada ஞாபகம் வந்துச்சு, but fine. Of course, people would be upset if you went radio silent after dropping that on them, but by appealing to their best angles, you want the public support. Better Angels, sorry. Actually, I didn't love that scene. I love the movie overall, don't get me wrong, but the entire Baby versus the World dilemma was my least favorite. People are right, it does feel slightly selfish for the Fantastic Four to not even consider the trade. I get it. True heroes can say everybody don't bend on their values, but come on, at a certain point, truly heroic person should yield given such a great disparity between outcomes. Why did Ree immediately spill the bean at the press conference? Take a day, say, we are not sure if we are safe. We need some time to think and plan. We'll get back to you soon. People are suddenly fine with the baby side. In the previous mentioned dilemma, where Sue has a heart to heart with a few hundred people in New York, I assume 99% of would have been like, sure, I get it that Sue have kid, family is important, but like it's him or billion of us. I don't know, it just kind of fell flat for me tonally. Maybe I missed some of the nuances in how it all tied into the themes overall. Though I had a fantastic time, 8 for 10 for me. இந்த மாதிரி சில விஷயங்கள் தான் ட்ராமா ரொம்ப சப்பாரா போரா பண்ணிட்ட மாதிரி எனக்கு இருந்துச்சு பர்சனலி, பட் ஃபைன். அடுத்தது, that's why they added a scenes of Reed arguing with Sue to show other perspective, not the Reed would yield, but it's the thought that he has to analyze. Maybe they would have to insert a rented scene later where they do address the conference, which wouldn't likely messed up the pacing. People in this world weren't hateful and had compassion. Did you see how they all pulled together to make those towers and how the mold people agreed to house the surface people? There is also the Silver Surfer and how she chose to solve the dilemma. The most fantastic in the movie wasn't a giant cosmic being who eats planet, the woman who can conjure force at will or taking pile of rocks. It was generally how good natured the public seemed towards the Fantastic Four and the world at large. They actually got on board with the plan that risked billions of lives because Sue Storm talked them into not surrendering their communal bonds to create a child sacrifice. Truly an alternate universe. Great. For a split second, I thought the stretching scene was going to be another horrific Pedro death. I've been traumatized. Also, shout out to the Michael Giacchino for composing another great soundtrack. Best Marvel movie so far. Stretching scene was both interesting and hilarious at the same time. Characters was having so much fun during that same moment. What I learned from the movie is that it doesn't matter if the smartest, strongest, or most loyal person in the world, it takes 3 grown men to install a baby seat in the back of the seat. I get you wanted to give all the tickets there due, but loyalty has been helpful when installing a difficult car seat. There is a new Marvel out that's supposed to be nuts. We should still be in Afghanistan. Absolutely love how human they made Reed feel. Even though he's the world's smartest man, he knows about becoming a father and has to balance his commitments to the world with his commitments to his son and family. Really cool. We get a Superman movie and a Fantastic Four film back to back, which feels so down to earth. உனக்கு ஃபேண்டாஸ்டிக் ஃபோர் பிடிச்சிருங்கிறது புரியுது. இன்ஃபேக்ட் உனக்கு சூப்பர்மேன் பிடிச்சிருக்கிறது எனக்கு புரியுது. எதுக்கு ரெண்டுத்தையும் கம்பேர் பண்ணி ரெண்டுத்தையும் ஒன்றா போட்டிருக்கீங்கன்னு தெரியல. பட் யூ ஆர் எக்ஸ்போசிங் யூர் செல்ஃப் ஃபைன். Late allies, okay, fine. It's your view. Love that Petro Reed is more vulnerable, and you can see it in a performance very well. That while the world's smartest man has a brilliant mind, he isn't born from being emotional and does care deeply for his family. I really loved the whole sequence in space with Sue giving birth while they try to escape. Philosopher was awesome. I really loved the cast. Vanessa Kirkby and Joseph Quinn in particular really shined. Even though I love Pedro Pascal, I wasn't sure about him as a Reed. When he was cast, that side he nailed it. Really thought he did a great job. Ibn Moss was great too, but I felt the thing was weirdly underutilized. Okay, it felt like his scenes got cut. There had to have been more with Natasha Lyonne, right? I could have used more Paul Walter Hauser. Lol, he was great in every scene. Love how he only liked Sue and how flustered he made the guys. I address you fucking. Yep, this version of Reed seemed nerved, so to say, from what we have seen the characters do in the previous films. Okay. Fantastic Four first film is the best Fantastic Four movie since The Incredibles, and it isn't even so close. அந்த ஒரு நாள் ஓட்டலாம் இந்த ஒரு சோஷியல் மீடியா கலர் முடிப்போம். So that's it from my end, guys. Hope you loved all the segments of this social media Kalavarangall. இது ஃபேண்டாஸ்டிக் ஃபோர் இன்டர்நெட்டில் என்னவா பேசப்படுது, என்னவா போட்டு புழக்கப்படுது, இல்லை பேசப்படுது, விமர்சிக்கப்படுதுங்கிறது மட்டும்தான். இது ஜஸ்ட் ரெப்ரசன்ட் ஆஃப் வாட் சோஷியல் மீடியா இஸ். நான் படம் கட்டணுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தா லைக் பண்ணுங்கள். நான் அப்புறம் உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது சஜஷன்ஸ் இருக்குது, ரெக்கமெண்டேஷன்ஸ் இருக்குது, ப்ரோ இதை பற்றிலாம் பேசுங்க ப்ரோ, இதை பற்றி ஏன் பேச மாட்டேங்க, அந்த மாதிரி வாட் எவர் இட் இஸ், ப்ளீஸ் மேக் யூஸ் ஆஃப் த கமெண்ட் செக்ஷன். லெட் மீ நோ. ஐ வில் ரீட் யூ த்ரூ ஆல் த கமெண்ட் செக்ஷன். ஐ வில் கெட் பேக் டு யூ, ஆல் ரிப்ளை டு இட். அண்டு சப்போஸ் என்னோட யூடியூப் சேனலை ஃபாலோ பண்ண முடியல அப்படின்னா டூ ஃபாலோ மீ ஆன் எக்ஸ். schizophrenian டேக்கில் நான் இருக்கேன். ஸோ ஆல்ரெடி லிங்க் வித் அவர் mr.schizophrenian இன்ஸ்டாகிராம் அக்கௌண்ட்லேயும் நம்ம யூடியூப் சேனலோட அக்கௌண்ட்லேயும் எக்ஸ் இன்டெகிரேட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஸோ இட்ஸ் லிங்க், it's already available. So follow me, so you can follow whatever the news I see, whatever the things I see, I just keep sharing and retweeting. So you can also follow me. And if you want to support me, hit that subscribe button. So you can support YouTubers like me. கூடிய சீக்கிரம் இன்னொரு நல்ல மூவியை பற்றி, இல்லைனா சூப்பர்மேனே திரும்பி பழக்கிறத பற்றி நிறைய வீடியோ எடுத்து போடுறேன். எல்லாத்தையும் பார்த்து லைக் பண்ணுங்கள் மறக்காமல். See you soon. Take care. Bye bye.